The story opens with a beautiful view of the city of Rome. That calm mood is shattered when a man named Enzo Ciccati is suddenly chased by the police. He has just stolen some chickens and a luxury watch that he plans to sell so he can keep himself going. While running from the police, Enzo tries to hide on a garbage barge that is usually used to clean the river. He hopes the officers will give up and leave, but instead they climb onto the boat and start searching it. With no other choice, Enzo jumps into the river to avoid being caught. The police lose track of him and eventually leave the area. When things seem quiet, Enzo tries to come back up, but slips and falls into a large drum filled with radioactive waste under the river. It takes him a long time and a lot of effort to finally crawl out of it. And that moment changes everything. This is They Call Me Jig Robot. Enzo manages to get back to his apartment, but soon he is hit with a terrible fever. He starts vomiting and coughing badly. Without realizing it, his body has been contaminated by a dangerous black substance. Surprisingly, by the next morning, his condition has improved in an almost miraculous way. Enzo then goes looking for Sergio, his neighbor who lives one floor below, hoping to sell him the stolen watch. Sergio is not at home, so Enzo decides to follow him to his workplace. Sergio turns out to be a member of a criminal gang led by a ruthless man named Fabio, someone who does not hesitate to kill his own men if they make mistakes. Among the gang, Sergio is known as the most loyal member. That morning, Fabio is holding a meeting, looking for someone brave enough to handle a drug deal being moved through another airport. When no one volunteers, Sergio finally steps up and agrees to do it himself. After the meeting, he meets Enzo and buys the stolen watch for €100. He quickly realizes that Enzo is a skilled thief, so he invites him to help with the drug pickup mission. With no real reason to refuse and needing the money, Enzo agrees. They stop by Sergio's place to grab some equipment first. There, Enzo meets Alessia again, who is very excited as she talks about a Japanese cartoon called Steel Jig. At first, Enzo finds her behavior strange, but over time he realizes that Alessia is struggling with mental health issues. On the way to the airport, Sergio explains that Alessia has been traumatized ever since her mother died. Because of that, she often mixes reality with her favorite anime world and sees the people around her as characters from the show. About half an hour later, Sergio takes Enzo to the airport area to carry out the drug transaction. Things take a bad turn when one of the men overdoses and begs to be taken to the hospital. Instead of helping, Sergio drags him to an abandoned building and continues with the deal on the top floor, the only level that still has running water. The overdosed man dies on the spot, which enrages his friend. Without thinking, the man pulls out a gun and shoots Sergio. Enzo, who has been watching everything, is also shot and falls from the upper floor. Miraculously, he only passes out for a short time. When he wakes up, he finds himself still alive and able to move. He then heads back to his apartment, clutching the gunshot wound in his shoulder. When Enzo gets home, he is briefly greeted by Alessia, who is still waiting.